Alright, today is day 1 of our adventure here in Kentucky, and today we're going to the Creation Museum. Alright, we made it to the Creation Museum and we're walking around this place right now and it's quite amazing. From the garden we were in, we walked to the main building of the Creation Museum, which featured a lobby, an aquarium, a bookstore, and even dinosaurs with moving parts. After spending some time looking at the fish and the sea turtles, we then began our walk through all the exhibits that the Creation Museum had to offer. After walking through some of the exhibits, we headed to the cafeteria for lunch, and I had a hamburger with french fries. Once we were done with that, we headed to a new exhibit in the Creation Museum called Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, which details all the parts of pregnancy. Then we went to a Dr. Crawley's Insectorium, which, yes, was about as good as it sounds. Then we waited in a very long line to get into a 4D theater, which means not only do you have the 3D experience of it, but your seat moves and fans blow on you to make it feel like you're actually there. Sadly, I wasn't able to video, otherwise I would have. The next day, we drove about 30 minutes to the ARK encounter, and after standing in a really long line, we got our first glimpse of the ARK. But once buses had taken us there, we got up close to it. It's 510 feet long, 85 feet wide, and 51 feet high. But before we went in it, we decided to head to the zoo, which is much more impressive than the one they have at the Creation Museum. After listening to a short talk on goats, we saw multiple animals such as a tortoise, multiple lemurs sleeping together, kangaroos, especially a cute one stretching, a bear cat, an ostrich, and zebroids such as zonkies and zorses. And I'm not making that up, those are their actual names. After that, we headed to the main building of the ARK. We entered on the first floor through a long ramp, with thunder and lightning and rain noises to really set the mood. Once inside, you immediately get to where all the animal cages would have been. You had large animals, small animals, and animals in between, with artistic license on how they would have been fed. After looking at a chart that detailed about how many animals were on the Ark, we headed up to the second floor, which featured even more exhibits. Also on the second floor was the door and the living quarters, which showed what the living situation might have looked like aboard the Ark. Finally, we got to what probably was my favorite exhibit on all of the Ark, the Ice Age exhibit. After spending about 2 hours on all 3 floors of the Ark, we headed one last time to the zoo to look at a sloth which literally fell asleep while I was videoing. Then we headed home. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, or even if you didn't like it, make sure to subscribe.